Hi everybody, welcome to another exciting edition of the Coffeecast, where we have once again replaced Megan Kanikoa, owner of the Wailuku Coffee Company, with a model. This week, you're Miss Maui USA.
Yes.
Your name is Courtney, what's your last name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yes.
Chelsea
Gusman.
See, this is what happens when you don't prepare for it.
You got the C part correct, so I will give you brownie points for that.
You know, this is the thing though, like, you're in the pageant world. Do you always find yourself having to say your name over and over and over again?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was just telling someone I had just met earlier that we are honestly just ordinary people, and we are just trying to use our voices to make a difference in our community, and that's exactly what my knowledge was and my purpose was going into this pageant.
Oh, so I take it you're on your way to owning your own media empire someday?
Oh, maybe not. I'm kind of away from the media side, so this is all new for me. You know, figuring out what my brand is, that information just goes right over my head. I'm actually a nurse at Halemakua.
Wow.
So very, very different than what you see here today. I'm usually in scrubs and sneakers. So this is me getting to dress up for a little bit, which is really nice.
Right? I mean, people don't realize, figs are a good set of scrubs. I mean, they're like the Cadillac of scrubs, but they're still scrubs.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, it's got to be difficult though, because for the nursing job, there is no hair, no makeup, no nothing.
Exactly.
How is it? How is the transformation to you? Is it much like a drag performer where you start off with this raw canvas, nothing on it, and then you're like, okay, now to be pretty?
I mean, it's really nice. Of course, when I'm at work, I'm wearing a face mask, a face shield. My hair is obviously up in a bun. Don't always brush my hair every morning, gotta be honest with you. But I mean, it's really nice to just be able to, you know, do my makeup and do my hair every once in a while, because, you know, healthcare professionals right now must be very, very stressed. I know I am with everything that's happening right now, but it really is nice to just feel a little glam every once in a while.
That's the thing. It's like, I was talking to Sierra, and we talked about how stressful this was. We talked to Lindsay, how stressful this was. You're coming from a stressful real life job, and is pageant your way of relaxing? Because if so, girl.
I mean, preparing for this pageant was insanely stressful, but I have what's called a pageant platform. So my pageant platform is promoting something called the Bayanihan spirit. So I'm full Filipino, and Bayanihan means a spirit of community. Yeah. So I want to use this Bayanihan spirit, encourage others to have it as well during this time, because I had said in my mock interview, I think our community needs us now more than ever. And I think with my knowledge as a healthcare professional and my love for just being involved in the community, and I've been involved in the Filipino community since I was very, very little. My dad introduced it to me, I want to say, before I was even 10. And that passion just kind of kept going and led on up until today. And I really just want to encourage my community to just continue to find creative ways to be together during this time, because of course, you know, we're all social distancing. My mother herself is staying at home and is unemployed, so it's really hard on everybody. And I think that we can really connect with each other through that and come back stronger as a community as small as Maui and an island as small as Maui.
You know, a lot of people talk now about inclusion. You know, inclusion is something that is one of those, I want to say, media buzzwords, but it is actually very important to young people. You know, doing this pageant, you spend a lot of time talking about your Filipino roots.
Yes.
Do you find that it's, unless somebody like you comes up, there's not a whole lot of representation for your community?
Exactly. I mean, we all have amazing platforms, and they're all different, and I think that's, for my sisters and I that ran for the pageant, I think that's really what brought us together. We all have different ideas, but because of that, we are able to feed off of each other. And by doing that, we can, again, find more creative ways to just be more active in things that are happening now. I know for Sierra, for example, she's all about women empowerment. So she was really our hype man going into this pageant. She was always that person to just make sure that we felt empowered in everything that we do. And then as for myself, I am always that person to say, hey, we need volunteers for this. which one of you sisters wants to do it, or which one of you sisters wants to help this local business, this local photographer with a photo shoot today, just by helping them out. So even doing something as little as that for a community, just supporting businesses that may be struggling right now, it really, really makes a difference to what we're doing with our titles.
Well, this is one interesting thing I learned. So Sierra is like the Flavor Flav of fashion, I guess.
Absolutely.
Oh. Now, the thing that you keep mentioning platforms, does every contestant have to have one?
Not necessarily. So I know Lindsay had touched up a little bit about the USA organization and the America organization. So for the USA organization, you don't necessarily have to have a platform, but I think it's important because you want to know the general direction of what you want to do with your title. So a very typical pageant question that they may ask in interviews is, why do you want to be Miss Blank USA? And of course, you have to have a reason, whether it's for yourself, for self-development, for gaining more confidence in yourself, or for women empowerment, promoting sex trafficking awareness, and for myself, it's community. So that's the general idea of what I want to do with the rest of my title.
Now, as good as your communication skills are, talking about your community, and also, of course, mentioning representation, I mean, what was your inspiration for getting into the pageant? Was it that you wanted to see somebody like you in this kind of field, or was it that you saw somebody and you was like, I got you, I'm coming up next?
So I have actually ran for multiple pageants before, and again, going back to my Filipino roots, I initially ran for Miss Maui Filipina back in 2015, about 5 years ago, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
And that was actually a scholarship pageant. And through that, I was able to gain a little bit of scholarship for nursing school, which of course is very, very expensive. Actually, in fact, it's another $1,000 at UH Manoa just to be a nursing student. I don't really know what that extra $1,000 is for, but I just remember seeing it and thinking, oh my goodness.
Have you ever met a nursing student? That's what it's for.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Just to say you are a nursing student, it's an extra $1,000.
It is kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
It seems like for when it comes to frontline people, we put a lot of demand and impetus for finance from them.
Right.
And this is the thing that, because I just got an idea. You're a medical frontline worker. You are also in pageants. I can finally ask the question and get a definitive answer. Is pain beauty?
Well, let me tell you, those 5.5-inch platform heels, or actually it's a 5.5-inch heel, 1.5-inch platform. And keep in mind, again, I go from sneakers to heels like that. I would go straight after work to pageant rehearsal. And I mean, definitely beauty is pain, but I think there's also beauty in everything. I wrote in my bio that my favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast, because I am honestly a strong believer that there's beauty in everything. So there is beauty in everything that can be happening right now. There's beauty in everything that each one of our platforms stands for, and each person. And I think, hopeless romantic me, I think there's beauty in everything.
Aww.
Yeah. There's beauty in you too.
That's what my wife keeps telling me. I don't believe her. I see the mirror. But the thing is that you are right. When you talk about beauty, it's not just like an outside package.
Right.
So when it comes to the pageants, I mean, you're very committed as a pageant judge and as a pageant participant of showing both inner and outer beauties. Now, when it comes to your insides, and I don't mean your literal insides, we're not going medical here, but what do you think is like the one thing that makes you feel beautiful, the one part of yourself that you're like, you know what, I can go with the tennis shoes, I can go with the fig scrubs, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But this is the part of me that's pretty on the inside.
Yeah. So for me, I actually went through a lot to just be the person I am today and to have the confidence that I have. I actually have struggled with a lot of mental health issues, whether it was anxiety, depression, bullying when I was in intermediate and high school. And if I were to go back in time and tell younger me anything, it would be to, don't listen to anything anybody else says. You are not these words. You know yourself better than anybody else, and you are so much more capable of so many things. And I think that's something that we really need to promote, especially to our keiki and the younger people below us and above us. It doesn't matter how old you are. And just to, nobody can be more you than you.
Yeah.
And there's no one else like you.
You pretty much hold the market on it.
Yeah.
This is the thing too. It's like, because, pageants are always competitive. They're always cutthroat. There might be a sword involved.
That's for behind the scenes. We don't advertise that.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed that is behind the scenes are, and especially from hearing your story now, is that pageants have a certain healing quality to them. And I would like to think that through competition we all become better, but how have you found yourself being bettered by going through a whole pageant experience?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like I said, I definitely had my fair share of mental health issues, but...
Well, you went to nursing school and they charged you $1,000 extra.
Yeah. So that was for my financial health.
Yeah, their mental health, because $1,000, really? Okay.
Yes, just to say the name. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I totally...
It's okay.
Forgot the question.
I just asked you, like, how do pageants heal?
Yeah.
Like, you said you had mental issues and things like that, and I know it's very hard to perform with mental issues.
Right.
But you seem like this whole experience is better.
Exactly.
It's made you a little bit more accepting of those pieces.
Right.
How do pageants, like, heal people that are in them?
So I told my other sisters that the only person that we're really competing with in the end is ourselves.
Yeah.
We are competing for the same title, but again, we all had different pageant platforms. We were all passionate about different things, but really the person you are competing with is yourself. Once you overcome that feeling of, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Is my walk strong enough? Is my body pretty enough? Once you get over those and really reflect inwards on what you want to stand for and what you believe in. Like I said, beauty is from within, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, man.
And once you overcome that and think, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to leave my heart on that stage. And that's exactly what I did. And once
we have a sash for it.
Once the pageant was over, I was so humbled and happy because I knew I left my heart on that stage, whether or not I felt my hair was in the right place or my makeup was exactly the right way, or whether I stepped each power pose on the stage exactly the way I wanted to. I was proud of myself and for all of my accomplishments I've had for the past May, June, July, August, September, 4 months that we were preparing. And regardless of the outcome, I really had to humble myself and think, no matter what the outcome tonight, I'm proud of myself and I am happy. I can go to sleep tonight knowing that the judges and all of my family and friends watching on that screen knows that I did my absolute best.
Well, you've mentioned Beauty and the Beast like 4 times.
I love it.
What is the beast part of you then? You're like, I believe in both. So if you believe in the beauty, what is the beast part of you? What makes you a beast?
I mean, just with all of my experiences, I know nobody is perfect. Nobody has no thing that they are not proud of every once in a while. And I will admit to my mistakes. And through those experiences, I call them, my life lessons, because I found a way to become resilient from it. And I found a way to be better, not bitter. And I've used my experiences to empower other people. I am a part of an organization called Pure Purpose. It's a local organization actually made by someone named Courtney Hovey, so we did mention that name.
Yeah.
And we basically want to emphasize that, you are not alone in whatever you go through, regardless of how strongly you feel that way. And we use our experiences to, again, empower other people to figure out their purpose in life. And I think my purpose is to do more within my community. And with this platform of Miss Maui USA, I can use my voice at an amplified way.
It's kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, exactly.
You've collected all of the titles now.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I would ask you more pageant questions, but I'm fascinated by them. So it could be an all-day conversation. Instead, I'll ask, since we're here at the Wailuku Coffee Company, what is your drink of choice in food today?
My drink of choice, this is what I always get. Unlike my sisters Lindsay and Sierra, I love coffee, and I really have to be in the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
Here I have a Thai iced coffee. And this one I think was a new one. It was a gluten-free, dairy-free peanut butter muffin. I had to say that very slowly. But I have not tried this yet, so I'm actually going to indulge.
Go for it. I'll just tell everybody.
It's heated up.
Yeah.
And what do you have there?
Oh, this is easy. This is the Pecan Bar.
Oh.
That's all it's called, Pecan Bar.
Beautiful.
Now, pecan, though, is a complicated word. It comes from the Algonquin language. It means nut that's so hard it needs a rock to crack.
Does it really?
Yeah. That is a very long word for pecan. But Algonquin, they would be like, oh, the nut that you need a rock to crack.
Oh.
Yeah, but these are always down here. I always like their bars, their lemon bars, their pecan bars. I'm a bar kind of guy. You know, since we're not hanging out in bars because of all this COVID stuff, these are the only bars that I know now.
You read my mind.
Right. Well, what's next for you after all of this? I mean, you got the title for a year, then you go back and you bequeathed it to someone else and you move on. What's your moving on vision?
Moving on, I mean, I repeatedly said, regardless of whether or not I won a title, I would still use my experiences to help the community in some way. So I have a lot on my plate, but I love being busy, so it's okay.
Well, of course, you went through nursing school.
So on top of being a nurse during a pandemic and being in a pageant in a pandemic, I also am one of the board of directors of Binhiat Ani, which is the local nonprofit organization across Maui Waena. And there I'm helping with the Bayanihan food distribution. So I am, every single month, I am helping, hands-on to deliver or to give boxes of produce and canned goods to 500 plus families every month. And that's actually this coming Saturday.
Ooh.
So really excited for that. I think it starts at 9:30 typically, if not earlier, but there's always a very long line. So we're trying to figure out the logistics of how we're gonna do everything safely. And on top of that, I've just been trying to figure out ways to support locally, and it's basically whether or not I have this title, I'd probably be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now. It's just I have a physical crown to do it. So
so now you can be like, bow down, peasants, your queen has arrived. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Can anybody follow you on Instagram or anything like that? You want to give out any links?
Yeah, of course. So my Facebook is Chelsea Gusman, and my Instagram is also Chelsea Gusman. And you can also follow me along my pageant journey to Miss Hawaii USA in December through Miss Maui USA 21, and that is my Instagram handle. And don't forget to follow my sisters as well. I know Miss Valley Isle just came as well, and the Miss Maui USA page is the main one. So the only difference between the main pageant page and me is the 21 at the end.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, otherwise people, if they wake up on a gurney and you're standing over them, maybe rethink your life choices. But
maybe.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm going to let you enjoy some food, because I know during the whole pageant in a pandemic and nursing thing, you probably ate like very, very little.
Yes.
It's a very busy schedule, and food doesn't fit into busy schedules.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, for everybody else, I'll remind you, like, subscribe, and share the Coffeecast, and then join us again next week when we will see if we can get Megan back, or if I will replace her with another young model. Until then, goodbye.